Hey everybody, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. Today is bittersweet. It is the final episode of our guide walkthrough series for Mirthwood. We're going to be completing all 4 portals today and then doing the final battle. It's been a ride. It's been fun doing these guides and walkthroughs. I think I'm going to continue doing them, especially after the new patch. I think the biggest thing for the game is that it's going to continue evolving. The devs have a lot of things planned for it, so I think I'm going to continue doing content as new stuff drops and as new routes and as new things get discovered. I think I'm going to try to also do a little speed run of it, because it seems like it's going to be fun to do that too. So here's the forest shrine. Go ahead and open up the portal. Warning, if you're playing it right now, that portal sound after you go through it is freaking annoying. It is so loud. It's a humming that's just gnarly. Like, trust me, lower the volume. I was going crazy. So once you go through the portal is going to always be the starting point of these dungeons, and they're like mazes. So you need to follow along on the video, and there's no map, so have fun with that. We're going to go left all the way, and then when you reach this particular area where there's like a little fork in the road, keep going left. A lot of folks go up and they get lost. So what you want to do is keep going left. Then you're going to go north as far as you can go, and you're going to see the path start to diverge to the right. And you're going to be like, wait a minute, am I going the right way? Yes, you are. You're wrapping around an outcropping you can't reach any other way. So you have to go left all the way, left a little bit more, up, and then all the way to the right. And when you get all the way to the right, you're going to keep going as far as you can. See, I've been traveling for a while now, all the way to the right. And so you cannot reach this area any other way except the way I just told you to go. Left, up, right. When you see a cave walker, you know you reach the area, and this is what it looks like. That little thing on the floor is the binding stone you need to get. And here, these messages are being left by Duwende. If you're into the lore, give them a read. They kind of talk about the formation of this world and what's going on, his conflict with the other elves and blah blah blah. So it's actually pretty interesting. So once you get the binding stone, now we're going to head on to the left, and we're going to hug the top of the screen as much as possible. So if you keep doing that, keep going to the left and hugging the top part of the screen from the binding stone, you're going to get to this point where there's a chest and a spriggan. Kill the spriggan, pick up the chest. That's basically what we're going to do. You get the diagram for the gold ring, which gives us a bunch of defense. So that's really, really cool. Leave the portal, go back home. That's basically what it's coming down to. I'm not going to show you the fights. I'm just going to try to direct you to where to get the binding stone and then where to get to the portal in this walkthrough. That's what it's for, right? Back home, I'm going to deposit everything I don't need. I'm going to grab the pelts, and I'm going to grab everything else that I need, including the damn lobster. I forgot it the first time. I was like, wait a minute, I forgot my lobster. So I had to go back and grab the lobster because I didn't have it on me. I'm telling you. So the lobster is hard to remember because it's not the same thing as materials, right? It's food. Same thing for the amanita mushrooms. So I went back and I grabbed the lobster, and then I headed on back to the mountain shrine. The mountain shrine requires only one of each, which is nice. And then when you open up the mountain shrine, the area is all gray, like black and white. And it's a little bit hard to navigate through if you don't know what you're doing. So really pay close attention to where I'm going in the cave. The biggest thing is that there's going to be a narrow isthmus you're going to pass through, and I'll point that out as soon as we cross into it. So you can see a couple of things. One is I'm not kitted out, right? Like I have a bandage brigandine and I have the elven helm, and that's it, and rugged pants. I'm not at the highest level of armor. I do have the strongest bow, but I don't have the strongest sword. I do have a crap ton of potions and a lot of stamina potions and everything else, and that's really all I need. So once you come into this shrine, like I said, there's going to be a very, very, very right away you get the letter from Duwende and you're like, oh cool, it's right here. No, the binding stone is like out in the middle of nowhere, so you're gonna have to go up and you have to go to the right as much as possible. The binding stone is up on the upper right hand corner of the map, so you have to get there. The thing being that if you don't, keep up and to the right, this is the narrow isthmus I'm talking about. after you cross this narrow isthmus, now it's time to go to the right. A lot of folks keep going to the right in the beginning and they get lost. So you don't want to do that. You want to wait until after you cross the isthmus, because you can see there's no way to cross. There's a wall there. So if you go immediately right instead of going north, you'll get lost and you won't be able to go. So here I'm going to keep going to the right as much as possible after I went up and to the right. Okay. Here, this part, I'm now at the final wall of the dungeon. And I know that because I found the cave walker. So I cannot go further right anymore. That's the end. Okay. So now I'm going to loop back a little bit and I'm going to find the binding stone in the little area a little bit here to the left. It's right there on the floor. It's pretty crazy. You can miss it really easily. So there it is. Again, the trick is up, then to the right as much as possible. Follow the wall, hook around, find the binding stone, and then you can't go anywhere else. So what you're going to do is you're going to go north from here, and you're going to go to the left, hugging the top of the wall. Now, you're going to all of a sudden be in a large chamber where there's a chest, and then there's a hag you have to fight, along with a wraith along with all the stupid rats. So go ahead and kill the wraith, and you pick up hardwood bow and a steel bar. I don't know. I talked to the devs and I'm like, yo, why am I getting a hardwood bow at this point of the game? So they're going to look into fixing that. It's just hilarious. But the whole point is I got the damn binding stone, which is what I needed in Silentium. So now I'm just going to go back home quickly, deposit everything I don't need, grab my bars, because the next shrine we're going to do is the shrine on the plains. So this shrine is actually my favorite shrine. It is the trippiest shrine you have ever seen in your life. To access it, we just go directly west of our camp in the heights, and the area. The unique thing about this shrine, apart from its ambiance, is that there is very little space to navigate. Okay, so I'm going to save before I head on in because I might die, and I don't want to be dying inside the shrine. Okay, because I'm gonna respawn back at home in the camp in the heights, so I don't be doing the trek back and forth. I'll just reload my save. So from here, the first thing we're gonna do is find the portal. So you're gonna go up and to the left, and there's the portal. That's our starting point. Okay, from the portal, we're gonna go up to the right. Okay, and we need to do two things, right? We need to find the binding stone, and we need to find the area where the portal is. The good thing is that both items are really, really close to each other. So here, there's another letter by Duwende. You get to read more lore, and you get to pick up an elixir. So don't go south. From this letter, do not go south, because there's going to be a divergent path again. And you're going to be like, oh, I can just go south. Don't do that. There's a bunch of enemies there, and you'll just get killed. Instead, keep going to the right all the way until you get to these really cool-looking planets, and then head on north through this little narrow path. When you get to the narrow path, you're going to head to the left. So now you're in the quote-unquote final area. Don't go to the left and down, go up. If you go up, you're going to be in this area that I'm here right now. And then there's two paths, down and up. If you go up, you go get the binding stone. If you go down, that's the exit. Okay? So I know I've said a lot of things right now, but it's pretty simple once you get the hang of it. You have to go, make sure you're not taking those paths that I said not to take, because those paths are full of enemies and they're hard to fight in this small area. Now, by all means, if you want to fight them, go ahead, right? I'm just letting you know that when this path diverges, you go north, get the binding stone, go south, and you're gonna get into a fight anyway. You can see I already did. Here, there's gonna be a fight with another Spriggan, and there's also a couple of silt lurkers I already killed. So for your troubles, you get the diamond ring diagram, which is currently bugged. I kid you not. I crafted it because it gives you like plus 10 defense, minus 5% consumption of everything, and I was like, oh my god, this is great. And I had a diamond and I had gold, and I crafted it, and it didn't work. I was so sad. But the devs are aware, and they'll probably they're gonna fix it in the next patch, which is the mid-December patch of Night of the Falling Stars. So I'm done. Next shrine is the Shadowed Shrine, which I'm going to access from my Valley's Shadow Camp. So go directly to the right from the Valley Shadow Camp, and we already unlocked it, so we know where it is. You can just look in your map and go to it. Once again, I'm not fighting every single enemy I'm finding in the portals because I don't have to. If I need to, I will fight. But because I'm strong enough, I'm not too worried about taking a couple of hits even with my bow. Once again, I mentioned it in the last video, but I'm going to mention it in this video too. The new way of fighting with the bow is kiting in a circle. It's no longer kiting left or right. The big reason for that is the hitboxes are weird, and then the second big reason is you run out of stamina way too quickly. So you can only get off a couple of shots, and so the closer you are to the enemy circling, the more you'll be able to hit them when you recover your energy. So here I went ahead and I opened up the shrine. That pearl, remember, we got from the wraith that we defeated in the glen. And I saved once again before going in, because in case I die, I don't want to have to walk all the way back to the Shadows Valley camp and then walk here. This shrine is actually super straightforward, and it's the easiest shrine of them all. It's called Everfrost. Even though it's the last one, it's the easiest. I don't know, whatever. You're going to head north and you're going to head to the right as much as possible. So there's the portal. You're going to head up and then to the right. That is what we need to do. I stopped to grab the lore, Got to grab some of that lore and read about. And then the lore tells you this is it. I found them. I was mess them up. Okay, cool. So we're going to go up and to the right, and you're going to find a couple of things. One is a damn bear. And so I left it here so you can see, yep, that's a polar bear. And he's going to come after you, and he's fast, and you're slow. So you got to be careful. There's a way to trap bears so they stop following you, and that's here. Because of the shape that the hole is in, it kind of creates this little like nook they can't go past. So if you lead them here and then you go up, they get stuck. So that's really great. You're going to find a wolf. Don't find him if you want. I just said, you know what, screw this. I'm just going to run past you. Because I'm hugging the right side of the wall again. Similar to the other shrine, the black and white shrine. There's your binding stone. And I'm done. I can't go anywhere else. I have to go down again. But I'm going to go down and to the left. As soon as I can go to the left, I will. So right here is where I can go to the left, and I'm going to hug this wall as much as I can, the north wall, and I'm just going to follow it to the end. There's going to be 3 wolves waiting for you, along with a werewolf. It's a pretty hard battle. I opted not to do the battle, because I didn't feel like I needed to. So all I did was I grabbed the chest, and I pieced out. The gift was like crap anyway, steel bars and gold bar and a potato. So I said, I don't care. I'm just going to grab my binding stone and get out. Alright, so we have all 4 binding stones. So with all 4 binding stones, the game tells me it is time to visit Duwende. And we already know where Duwende is because we were smart enough to mark it on our map. But first the game tells us to go talk to Siriel and the Hazy Hag, Siriel. And that's what we're going to do. And Siriel tells you where Duende's Valley is, which again, we already know. But if you don't go talk to him first, the story can freeze on you and that's not fun. Alright, so once you've talked to Siriel and he tells you where the heck Duwende is, go provision yourself for the road ahead. There's 3 battles you will have to do before you get to Duwende. A werewolf, a wraith, and a werewolf. And here is the wall, and you just have to activate it and then place the 4 binding stones all at once, and the gate opens. I would suggest bringing a lot of potions, potent health elixirs. I would suggest bringing some stamina potions and food. The trek is not long. And I suggest saving before you head in. The trek is not long. You're gonna, like I said, you're gonna fight a couple of 3 things before you get there. You can fight them or not, but they're gonna eventually catch up to you anyway. Up here to the north, there is actually a really cool rogue's hood and a black rogue's hood and a steel sword you can grab. Steel sword is really good if you don't have a good weapon and you're like, well, I'm gonna go be doing it with a copper sword. Well, no, here's a steel sword. You'll be fine. So there's a werewolf. I'm not gonna show you. I fought him. There's a wraith. I fought her as well. And there's the last werewolf lunging at me and smashing me. Love the ambiance, by the way, in this area. So before you go into that door, you get 2 health elixirs, which is great. And that's the door to Duwende up there, directly above this area. So once you have reached this point, heal up, get your stamina bar to full, all that kind of stuff, and then just prepare yourself for the final battle. I'm not going to show it to you. Okay, it's one thing to have a guide and walk. There's another thing to like walk you through every single battle. The one thing is go to the right and pick up another health elixir and a bread chunk. And bread chunks are great. And then so we're gonna go to the left. And this reminded me a lot of the Elden Ring of the fingers. You know, if you haven't played it yet, there's fingers all over the place and these shrines. It's really interesting side quest that you go on. That's what this reminded me of. This was already made before the fingers were done, so I don't know. I guess people just like standing stones or whatever. So then you head into this little clearing. There's no other way to go. And you talk to Duwende. You can choose to either forgive him or fight him. I'm not going to tell you what happens if you forgive him, but I am going to show you what happens when you fight him. So it's up to you. You make the decision of what you want to do, how you want to end the game, how you want to end your walkthrough. You want to just forgive the guy, or do you want to just fight him? I fought him. He has an assassin's moveset, which makes it, he doesn't hit hard, but he can hit repeatedly, like 7-8 damage, which is kind of annoying. If you don't have any armor, you know, if you're trying to do a naked and afraid thing, he's going to whoop you. But eventually, he has a couple of stages, so just keep that in mind and, you know, do your best. That's all I can tell you. He drops his armor, and the armor is amazing. It has a ton of defense and an extra effect. So it's a legendary armor. If you put everything on, you are an unkillable tank, which is kind of cool. So that's in Light and Darkness. That's the next quest you get after defeating Duwende. In my case, I beat him up, and it's like, okay, go talk to Elara and Serial now. So I did. I went up to the north. They're in Elara's house. Up there, they let you know that they're peacing out. They're like, good luck, dude. We're leaving. Our daughter's still around somewhere, and you gotta go fight her and liberate her. I didn't do that in this episode just because it was running long, and I was like, you know what, I'll do that some other time. But yeah, you talk to them. They tell you to go meet them at the forest portal, and they say, hey, you know, everything's Gucci. Have a good one. And they just disappear. They pop out of existence. I was laughing so hard. So now go live your cozy life. The next patch is mid-December called Night Falling Stars. Adds a new quest, adds a new map area. There's what the armor looks like. It looks pretty cool. So I'll be doing guides and walkthroughs of that. I hope you enjoyed yourself. I've enjoyed myself immensely. I'll catch you on the next one.